I want to welcome everybody to tonight's showcase on nursing and healthcare related programs. My name is Bea. I'm a college and career counselor with Capistrano Unified School District, and I want to welcome you officially to our virtual college fair for this evening, Wednesday, October 20th. If you are here to learn about nursing and healthcare related programs at some of our colleges and universities throughout the country, you are absolutely in the right place. So before we get started, I'd like to share some housekeeping items with you. First of all, this presentation is being recorded, which means that you will receive a copy of this recording. In fact, you can access this recording on our website and on our YouTube channel by next week, okay? So you can review this in your own time. All of you are muted, your videos are off, so your job is simply to take in all of this good information. If you do have questions, please use the Q&A to answer or to ask your questions, and that way we can manage your questions and answer them in a timely fashion. And you will be receiving a post-event survey via Calendly after today. Please let us know your feedback and how we can work on continuing to improve events like this and the college fair so that your experience is as best as it possibly can be every year for those of you who aren't seniors, okay? So the structure of tonight's program is a showcase. So you will be hearing some highlights from several different institutions. They're on the screen in front of you right now. They'll be presenting for 6 minutes apiece. Okay, so this is kind of rapid fire, but your job is to take notes on these programs. If you have questions, put them in the Q&A and collect the college rep email so that you can get in touch with these schools after tonight. This is kind of a lightning round appetizer version of college exploration. So you're just going to get a taste. And if you like what you hear and see, reach out to learn more. Without further ado, I'm going to pass this off to Marissa at Regis College to get us started.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Marissa Calori. I am our Senior Admission Counselor and International Admission Liaison here at Regis. A little bit about Regis quickly. We are located in Weston, Massachusetts, which is about 12 miles west of Boston. We were founded in 1927 by the Sisters of St. Joseph of Boston, and we are deeply rooted in community service. So you'll find a lot of our students in their free time doing any type of volunteer work, service trip, doing internships abroad. So we really focus on students growing as the whole person and not just in the classroom. The next slide, thank you. So our bread and butter program at Regis is nursing. About a third of our students are enrolled in the nursing program, and it is our highest enrolled program at Regis. And we are one of the country's top nursing schools and top 10 overall in New England. And we are also the first university in New England to be a designated center of excellence in nursing education. We are incredibly proud of our nursing program. We are in a great location for nursing. Being so close to Boston, students will do their clinical experiences in many Boston hospitals. So you're looking at a clinical experience in either Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Boston Children's, Massachusetts General Hospital, Boston Medical Center. So a lot of options to get your feet wet, get your hands dirty in all types of different hospital settings in Boston and the greater Boston area. Students will learn and perfect any skills that they'll need to use in those in-person clinical experiences in our simulation labs. These simulation labs have high fidelity and low fidelity mannequins, so they can do anything from think, talk, have seizures, give birth. So literally anything you're going to face in a hospital setting, you are going to learn and perfect in these simulation labs. We have a 90% NCLEX pass rate for, would you mind? Thank you. 90% NCLEX pass rate for first-time test takers. This is largely due to the fact that we have testing implemented into each semester, so students are able to take practice exams that are designed to be harder than the actual NCLEX. And then the last part I'll note is that not only does the partnerships we have with these hospitals benefit nursing students, but it benefits students in other majors like psychology, social work, things like that. You can go to the next slide. Thank you so much. So next is our School of Health Sciences. So this school has the most programs at Regis. A couple schools I want to highlight, or a couple majors I want to highlight. First is dental hygiene. We have a beautiful clinic off campus, about 15 minutes. Reason being is that we want our community members to be able to access this. As a student, you're going to need hours working on patients, and this is one way for you to get it. Also provides discounted services to community members. So that's just another way we're able to implement community service and giving back through our curriculum. And then we have 2 medical imaging programs, which are very popular among our students, which are diagnostic medical sonography and nuclear medicine. And the last 2 programs I want to highlight are psychology and social work. We have 3-year and 4-year bachelor's degree options with those 2 programs. So a lot of our students tend to do those 3-year options. They tack on an additional 4th year, and they're getting their master's in 4 years. So you're graduating with 2 degrees instead of 1 within that 4-year period. You can go to the next slide. So our location, I think we have the best of both worlds. We are in a suburban area, 12 miles west of Boston, like I had mentioned before, but we do have a T-stop, which is the train station close to our campus. It's about a 15-minute shuttle ride that'll bring you right into the city, which is about 45 minutes on the train. If you are driving and you do have a car, it's about 20 minutes into the heart of the city. So a lot of our students will go into Boston for any jobs that they have, any type of internships. They'll go in for a weekend for fun to see a Red Sox game or go to the aquarium. So you do have the best of both worlds in that regard. Go to the next slide. So when you apply to Regis, you're automatically considered for merit scholarship. 100% of our undergraduate students receive some sort of financial assistance. Your merit scholarship is based entirely on your GPA. SAT and ACT test scores are not a factor. Currently, the highest merit a student can receive is about $28,000 per year, which is a pretty big chunk off tuition. You get to keep this scholarship throughout your entire time at Regis. There is a GPA component required to keep that scholarship amount. However, it's set within the parameters you receive the scholarship, so it's not some ridiculous goal that you have to reach. It's within your abilities. We do also have the need-based aid. So if you fill out the FAFSA, you will get a financial aid counselor through Regis, and they will help explain final costs. They can also help with an appeal process, especially right now. Your 2 years ago's tax returns might not reflect your current financial status. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. And then the last part, we do have a variety of full tuition scholarships. So I would encourage you to check out our website, see if any apply to you, and feel free to reach out to me and I can walk you through the application process for those. The next slide. Thank you. So we are on the Common Application. We have a free application on there. We have a November 15th early action deadline. Part of the application requirements, we would like to see your official high school transcript, your first quarter or midterm grades, depending on when and what program you apply to. Like to see one letter of recommendation, and then we are test optional for this fall 2021 and 2022. So you do not need to submit test scores. That's it.
How's it going? Hi, I'm Alan Bodwin from, as I disappear into my backdrop, the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Next slide, please. We are the oldest university in the city of Boston and one of the oldest universities of pharmacy in the country. Our campus is situated adjacent to Harvard Medical School and surrounded by the 6 Harvard-affiliated teaching hospitals. So you can see Cambridge up above with Harvard and MIT. You cross the bridge, you come into us, Harvard Med, and all those Harvard-affiliated teaching hospitals. All of our students do their clinical rotations and internships and research through there. Next slide, please. Thanks. We are a comprehensive focused healthcare university, and I'll just kind of guess best describe it this way. In 8 years, you can be a doctor, a vet, or a dentist. So a medical doctor focuses on specific symptoms of the human body. A doctor of osteopathic medicine focuses on the entire body, but they are licensed the same way. A DO can be an anesthesiologist. They can be a surgeon. They can be a pediatrician. Both of those programs are 8 years, along with veterinary medicine and dental medicine. In 6 years, you can be a pharmacist, a physician's assistant, physical therapist, optometrist, occupational therapist. And over the left-hand side of the screen, highlighting nursing is a 3-year accelerated 4-year degree program. Because of the area we're in and all of these majors that you see students are going to get experience in areas such as HIV, cancer, diabetes, pediatric oncology, nuclear medicine, ambulatory care, drug and research development, diabetes, pediatric diabetes. I have a freshman in the cardiac ICU at Mass General. I have a second-year student doing stem cell research at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. All of our students have the opportunity to do the undergraduate research fellowship through Harvard Medical School. I had a senior last year working out of the Boston Children's Hospital, a group of scientists and doctors extracting DNA to find a cure for cancers and seizures. And this year she's doing her residency at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, so USC. All of those on the left-hand side of the screen are 3-year accelerated 4-year degree program. Pharmaceutical sciences is the research side of the drug. Pharmacology and toxicology is the side effect of the drug and how that reacts to the human body. Pharmaceutical and healthcare business and healthcare management, those are basically the business side of the medical field. The doctor of pharmacy is the pharmacist. Biology, you can go to med school through there. You can do research, or you can teach with a master's degree. Public health, being a public healthcare administrator in, let's say, a community where I'm making sure everybody's kind of up to speed on their health codes. Healthcare psychology is working with folks, and certainly those in healthcare psychology can administer medication on the clinical side of things. Pre-medical and health studies is a 4-year program where if one does not want to enter the BSMD or the BSDO, they can enroll in pre-medical and health studies and apply to med school, vet school, and dental school through there too as well. And that includes the mentorship, the help with the internships, applying to med schools, chemistry in vet schools and dental schools. Chemistry is the research side of a pharmaceutical, in like such, for example, Merck Pharmaceuticals, or you can go into pharmacy, or you can teach that. And health sciences is, if you're not sure what you want to do, you can enroll in health sciences and then kind of segue into the other programs. Next slide, please. Okay, interprofessional education. To give you an example, a lot of our healthcare psychology students work with, say, our dental students in the psychology of a patient going into a dental chair, or our pharmacy students who give flu shots on campus. So it's really important that that dynamic is clicking. In one lifetime, a patient is going to share an MD or a DO who is a surgeon, anesthesiologist, or a pediatrician, a PA, preferably maybe a nurse practitioner, an ultrasound tech, definitely a nurse or a nurse practitioner, and a pharmacist at the end of the day. So understanding what everybody does is incredibly important. Our students, as I had mentioned, do their clinical rotations and internships through those Harvard-affiliated teaching hospitals in Boston. And the annual income 10 years after enrolling is much higher than the national average. But go into medicine because you want to do it, not because you want to make a lot of money. There's a lot of ways to make money. And this should not be the only angle you're taking into medicine because you want to make money. Next slide, please. Free to apply, no application fee. By simply applying, you're automatically considered to be eligible for scholarship money, in which we dish out annually $25 million a year in both financial aid and scholarships. Private school, no out-of-state tuition fees. SAT, ACT optional. High school transcript, need biology and chemistry, algebra 1 and 2, and geometry. Your math and science courses we're really looking at here. Your essays, and a guidance counselor letter of recommendation. Next slide, please. Deadlines to remember: early action 1 non-binding is November 1. Early action 2 non-binding is December 1. The free application for federal student aid opened up on October the 1st. So our deadline to get FAFSA in is March 15th. Regular decision is February 1st. And May 1 is the national candidate reply date. And next slide, please. That's it. Thank you very much. And please welcome our next presenter.
Great. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Amber Nakamura, and I am the Assistant Director of Freshman Admissions at Biola University. As a Biola grad and a Southern Orange County resident, it's always exciting to have the opportunity to share a little about this place that I love with the people that I love. In my 6 minutes, I'm going to give you a quick Biola Basics presentation, and then if you have any questions or want more information, you can email us at admissions@biola.edu. For those of you who may not know, Biola is a smaller private Christian liberal arts university of about 4,000 undergraduate students located in La Mirada, so just right on the LA Orange County border. I live in Rancho Santa Margarita. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to get to campus, so not too terribly far away from home, but definitely closer to LA for internship opportunities and other fun experiences. Next slide. Great. So as a Christian university, Biola has a dual commitment to developing our students in both mind and character. Mind should make sense, right? We're an institution of higher learning, so of course your intellectual growth and career preparation are of the utmost importance. At Biola, we take academic excellence seriously, and we've been recognized for that commitment. U.S. News and World Report ranks Biola as a top-tier national university, which is their most prestigious list, and we are the highest-ranked Christian school on that list again this year. Additionally, Biola has been named one of the best value schools, a top school for first-year experiences, and a top performer on social mobility. And really, the hallmark of a Biola education is the opportunity to learn not only from world-class professors, but to also be seen and known by them, which is why classes at Biola are intentionally small. Most are 25 students or less. At Biola, we take career preparation seriously. This is a place where you will grow intellectually, but we also believe that it's a place where students take their faith to the next level. The students in our community consistently express how their faith has grown exponentially at Biola, and part of that is because Biola prepares students to think biblically about everything, which is why all undergraduates complete 30 credits or 10 classes in Bible and theology and graduate with a minor in biblical and theological studies. The Bible classes, chapels, and just the overall community are designed to challenge students to think differently and more deeply about their faith. That dual commitment to both academic excellence and spiritual development is really the major reason why I chose Biola. Now, as a liberal arts university, we offer over 40 different majors from the arts and the sciences, humanities, business, social sciences, music, kind of so on and so forth. But for this panel, I'll go ahead and highlight kind of our medical sciences. The medical sciences are the fastest growing program at Biola and are housed in our Alton and Lydia Lim Center for Science, Technology, and Health. It's a new 91,000 square foot, $63 million facility with state-of-the-art instructional labs, anatomy suite, applied physiology laboratory with a hydrostatic weigh tank, and nursing simulation and skills suite. We offer biochemistry, biological science, human biology, kinesiology, public health, but I'm going to talk a little bit about our nursing since it's really the only major out of the medical sciences that has a separate admissions requirement. So at Biola, nursing is a 4.5-year program. The first 2 years, our students take their general education classes and prerequisites for clinical nursing program, which they apply to their sophomore year. The next 2.5 years in clinical nursing, students are pretty much just taking nursing classes and completing their clinical hours in local hospitals. So Biola has connections with PIH health hospitals in the greater LA and Orange County areas, and also places students at Chalk, Hoag, City of Hope, UCI, and other major medical centers in the area. Our students have a 92% passing rate on the NCLEX, and our nursing graduates have a 92% job placement rating right out of school. So whether you're interested in nursing or one of our other medical science majors, there really is a huge emphasis in all of our programs on like holistic patient care. So not only will you be taught how to heal the body, but we want our graduates to be able to care for their patients' minds and souls as well. Next slide. So a lot of students don't consider private schools because of the perceived higher costs. So I want to quickly go over financial aid. While the sticker price may be high, we do have substantial financial aid. At Biola, 100% of our undergraduate students receive at least one form of financial aid. Our largest scholarships are our freshman academic scholarships. This year, those start at $12,000 and go up to $21,000. In addition to those academic scholarships, we also have over 10 other institutional scholarships as well as other need-based grants. Next slide. All right, admission requirements. And our admission requirements are pretty simple and straightforward. The admissions counselors at Biola are really only looking for 3 things. The first, as a Christian school, we do require that our students are believers in the Christian faith. We're looking for students who have made their faith their own and they're interested in growing in their faith. Second, we like to see at least a 3.0 unweighted GPA. Nursing is really the only exception. For that, we need a 3.6 for preclinical. Third, we need you to graduate from high school or receive an equivalent degree like the GED. And then usually we need to see at least a 1,000 on the SAT or a 19 composite on the ACT. However, we are waiving test scores again for seniors this year due to COVID. But if you have those 3 things, you're a Christian, you have at least a 3.0 unweighted GPA, and you ultimately graduate from high school, you are admissible to the university, and we'd love to have you join the Biola family. All right, in closing, love to leave you with ways to connect with us. Please connect with us via Instagram or Zeme. There is a ton of student curated content on both of these platforms. So if you want to see what it's like to be a Biola student, those are great resources. We'd also love to connect with you too. One of the things I love best about my job is getting to know my students and their families. So if you'd like to learn more about Biola or connect with your admissions counselor, please feel free to scan the large QR code in the middle of the screen and complete the inquiry form. And we'd love to make sure that you're in our system. So thank you again for your time. It was a pleasure getting to share with you today, and I will go ahead and yield the rest of my time to my colleague from CBU.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Devin Emmons. I'm an admissions counselor with CBU at California Baptist University in Riverside. So the main thing that we're going to talk about tonight in these next 6 minutes is going to be the CBU College of Nursing. So we want to talk through that because I know that that is probably one of the most popular things that you all are looking at. Healthcare in general is a really rapidly growing field of interest for students in high school, and the College of Nursing specifically at CBU is our largest enrolled program. So that's what I'm going to spend the majority of my time talking about. But I do want you to know a little bit more about CBU. We're located right in the heart of the Southern California experience. So right in Riverside, California, about the same distance from the mountains we are from the beach. So really quick access to all that Southern California has to offer with a lot of great programs related to healthcare. When you think about pre-med or pre-pharm or pre-dental, 2018, our graduating classes for all of those kind of things going into their next steps for those fields, 100% of those graduates got into the medical, dental, or pharmacy schools of their choice. And since then, for pre-med, we've had about 90%. And then for the other two, pharmacy and dental, 100% of our graduates are still getting into those places of their choice. So it is a really exciting time at CBU to be a part of a program that's much bigger than yourself. CBU continues to grow at a pretty rapid rate, and we're one of the fastest growing institutions in the country. And we're really excited about that because it provides a lot of resources for a large, thriving institution for you that still exists in a really small private campus environment. And so it's a really great time, CBU. We'd love to have you visit us. But really, what I want to talk about now is the College of Nursing, and I want to talk about how to get to CBU and then what nursing specifically looks like at CBU. So the general admissions process, you can find out whether it's you as a first-time freshman or as a transfer, what that looks like for you at these websites on the left here. The general requirements are a 3 to 5 paragraph essay asking you what do you want to gain from your CBU experience, $45 application fee, and then your official transcripts to be sent in. And then when you think about financial aid, you want to share the FAFSA with us. That's the biggest way that we can let you know all of the financial aid that you might be eligible for here at CBU. And there is a lot of aid available. We have a lot of scholarships, a lot of CBU funded scholarships, and even things from the university that are based on the FAFSA. So make sure that you're filling that out and send that over to us at CBU. We can go to the next slide here. Now, why CBU College of Nursing? It's a really great program. You've heard a little bit about some other programs, and it's great to experience. So really what it's going to come down to is where do I want to study specifically? And then what are those little things that do make the difference for me? And so when we're thinking about CBU, why CBU College of Nursing, there's a huge emphasis on the practical application and development of the individual at the same time. Kind of, you've heard a lot. We really do want to show you there's a lot of care and concern for you as a CBU student coming in. So we want you to know that you have those faculty who are experts in their field. Majority of them have the top degree possible in their respective field, especially in nursing, and they are still active clinicians and researchers in that field, but they want to be in the classroom teaching you and walking with you throughout that process. And you're going to have access to over 200 clinical partners and employers that are available to you. We even have a nursing career fair that happens every year on campus where you get a chance to meet with different people who are looking for interns, looking for nurses to hire right out of college. It's a really great opportunity for you there. And then thinking about our facilities, we have state-of-the-art facilities. We do have high and low fidelity mannequins that are available. Simulation studio that actually has a certification that allows us to let you as a student get some of your clinical hours, about 25% of those done at CBU in the simulation room rather than going to and from different places and hospitals for those clinicals as well. So a great opportunity there. You're going to have small class sizes, 48-to-1 student to faculty ratio for your general courses, and then 10-to-1 for those clinical side of things. We'll talk more about that as well. And you can see these multiple accreditations here at the bottom. Overall, our students graduating from CBU have a 92% pass rate of the NCLEX and a 98% job placement rating for their graduates from CBU. We can go to the next slide. So what does it look like to get into the nursing program at CBU? Well, here's what you need for eligibility. You need to be accepted to CBU in general as a pre-nursing major, and you're going to take 10 prerequisite courses before going into the actual nursing field. You're going to have a minimum cumulative GPA of a 3.0 in the semester before you're applying to the nursing program fully, and a 2.8 science GPA. This includes 5 of those science-based prerequisites for you as well. And then there's an application deadline for that. You'll find all that information on the nursing website that we'll make sure that we connect you with. And all of your prerequisites need to be completed with a C or better. And the TEAS exam taken within a year of the application deadline, and a minimum score of a 60 on that for you. Go to the next slide as well. Just to give you some perspective, those are the information that you need to know. How do I get into the program? But here's some information about the people who have been accepted into the program before you. You're seeing a cumulative GPA of actually a 3.59 when the minimum is a 3.0. So it is a really competitive program. We're able to accept 96 students per semester into that program as well. And usually around 120 to 130 are applying for that. So make sure that you are doing your absolute best academically. You're scoring really well on the TEAS exam. And then something that's really important to note at the bottom, you can see these percentages of applicants who have already had some sort of certification or license in healthcare. That's really helpful. So CPR certifications, any experience shadowing a nurse or in a doctor's office, things like that are really helpful for you. So make sure that you are getting as much as you can to look the absolute best that you can on that nursing application. And then we'll go to the last slide here to talk about what it looks like once you're in the program. Student to faculty ratio, again, 48:1 for all of your theory courses, and then 10:1 when it comes to clinicals, because we do want you to get that one-on-one time with the professor and have that, again, care and concern to make sure that we're equipping you to go out into the field and be the best that you can. And we think that that translates really well when, like I said, we're seeing 92% pass rate of the NCLEX and 98% job placement for our students. You're going to have 1 to 2 clinical days a week and 2 to 4 theory courses per week. This is going to vary by semester, and your nursing faculty are going to help you design your schedule and make sure that you are going to be the most successful that you can. And we do want flexibility from you. It's an ever-changing field, especially in light of this last year. And there's a lot going on with the clinical offices coordinating with you and your schedules. So we really want to say, be flexible and be ready to go out and just show that you are willing to put in that work to get to where you want to be at the end of the day while you're in the CBU nursing program. So that's what I have for you. I'm going to go ahead and put the email that you can find for us here at CBU in the chat. But next, I'm going to turn it over to our next speaker. Thank you so much.
Awesome, very cool. It's been really cool listening to all these wonderful programs. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tommy Rogers. I am the admissions representative for the University of Missouri. I grew up in Los Angeles. I am based down here in Orange County, and I'm alumni from the University of Missouri. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about our nursing program and then our health professions degree program and what some cool things our students are doing. But first and foremost, on this next slide, you're going to see some statistics about our university. We are a large campus and university. We've got about 29,000 students. That's our total population. Undergraduates, about 20,000 to 19,000. It does fluctuate. Tigers from all around the world, more than 120 countries, 50 states around the United States. California sits as our 4th most popular state, which is great. Got over 250 folks from California on campus right now. And we're also unique in which we are the land grant for the state of Missouri. And we are also a Tier 1 AAU research institution, which is absolutely wonderful for any students who are interested in going into the nursing and health professions field. Next slide, you're going to see a little bit about where we're located. We are located in beautiful Columbia, Missouri. This shows you obviously our majors that we have, but talking about Columbia real quickly, located in the middle of the United States, we're about 2.5-hour plane ride from John Wayne Airport. You can fly directly into Columbia or Kansas City or St. Louis. And we are College City. We've got about 125,000 people that reside. Beautiful Columbia, Missouri. A lot of really cool things to do there. We're a destination for a lot of guest speakers, for performers, artists from all around the world, which is wonderful. Mizzou's programs, as the slide shows you, we got a lot, over 300. But I do want to focus today on our nursing and our health professions field. On the next slide, you'll see a little bit of an introduction for our School of Nursing. How it works is that if you're admitted to Mizzou, you start off as a pre-nursing student. Your freshman and your sophomore year, you'll take a few introductory nursing classes. And with those classes too, we have a university hospital that's actually right next to the nursing school, which is great. We do have some pre-clinical shadowing opportunities starting right off the bat your freshman year, which is wonderful. So freshman, sophomore year, you're working in the hospital. We have a lot of different laboratories, both on and off campus. And there's a wide variety of different exposures that you have within the program too. For example, last year I was on campus, I sat in on a nursing class, and we actually had somebody from the medevac team who flies in a helicopter, who's a nurse, and she told us about her experiences and stuff. So you're gonna get all sorts of different experiences from all wakes of the nursing program. Once you finish your prerequisite classes, you apply into the nursing program to continue your clinicals. Typically we have a 50 to 60% passage rating into it. I do want to mention the 3 years I've been in California, I haven't had an issue yet of a California student getting into their clinicals. Typically they're looking for a 3 or higher, usually average GPA is about a 3.6. And then once you apply and you get into the clinical portion, that's when you really can utilize our hospitals that we have on our campus. We have a lot of partnerships with the downtown area, all around mid-Missouri, and we do have a couple of students who will do internships back here in California as well. 100% job placement rating for the past 10 years for our nursing program. Typically about a 96 to 98% passage rating. That's over the past 2 years for the NCLEX passage rating. 100% by the second time students will take it. So that's just a very quick overview of our nursing school. Our next slide, I want to leave a little bit of time to talk about our School of Health Professions. So as with nursing, you start off as a pre-health profession student. First 2 years, you take intro level classes. Again, we have our hospital, we have our rehabilitation centers on and off campus that you can still have access to even before your clinicals. Most of these programs that you see on the screen here, these are 3 + 2 years programs. So you're actually doing 3 years as an undergraduate, 2 years for your clinical portion, and you're actually going to be leaving with your master's. A lot of wonderful things that our students are doing in the College of Health Professions with nursing. All of our California students that I've worked with have not had any issues getting into their clinical portion. Some wonderful things too that our students are doing. A few years ago, there was a gentleman who was in a motorcycle accident, and his daughter was going to get married, and all he wanted to do was walk her down the aisle. Really, really cool. He worked with our students in our health professions clinicals. And not only did he walk his daughter down the aisle, he actually got to dance at the wedding. So there's a lot of really neat things that our students are doing in the School of Health Professions, a lot of really cool lab and research opportunities. Again, with nursing, 100% job placement rating. And we've got students that are going all around the world with their desired programs. One other thing I want to mention with our School of Health Professions is our 3 students that I recruited a couple years ago from California that are on our campus. They are actually in our School of Health Professions Ambassador Club. So if I have any students or parents who want to connect with those California students doing some wonderful things right now in their clinical portion, I'm more than happy to do that for you. So wonderful job opportunities in our nursing school and then also in the College of Health Professions. Next slide, please. Contact information right here. That's a picture of me. I've got a beard now, obviously. Go ahead and reach out to me if you have any questions at all about applying to the University of Missouri. We are going test optional continuing for this year. So if I have any students or parents, you're still going to be directly admitted into your major. You can still get scholarships. And we do actually have scholarships that will bring your out-of-state tuition to in-state tuition as well for your very first year. So if you have a high GPA, typically 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, 4.0, it's about a $20,000 scholarship that you'll get. And then we also do have half of an out-of-state fee waiver. If you're a little bit below that, test score, typically 30, 1360 SAT will get you that in-state tuition. And then your sophomore year, if you didn't qualify for in-state, we do have a really simple residency program that you can go through your freshman year. And once you complete that, you're guaranteed to pay in-state tuition for the remainder of your time on our campus. So anyways, that's a little bit about our campus. Feel free to reach out to me if you want me to connect you with any current students or any of our head recruiters in those specific schools. I'm more than happy to do that. But I believe we have one more presentation before we take some questions. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to Loyola.
Awesome. Thank you, Tommy. Hi, everyone. My name is Tara Crisp. I am a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Loyola University, Chicago. So a little bit of a different vibe here tonight. It's kind of cool. You got schools coming from all over the place, and you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own couch. So we'll go ahead and get started. So next slide, please. So Loyola has 2 undergraduate campuses in the city of Chicago. So the top 2 pictures that you see here are of our Lakeshore campus. You can tell we don't get too creative with our names. We are right there in a residential neighborhood right along the shores of Lake Michigan. And this campus really does create that very traditional, quintessential college experience, even though we are in the 3rd largest city in the country. So you really do get like the best of both worlds. And I know a lot of schools say that, but I really mean it. You get this traditional college campus in a big city. 7 miles south is our Water Tower campus. You can see those 2 pictures down there at the bottom. That campus lies in the heart of downtown Chicago, right off of Michigan Avenue, right in the hustle and bustle of things. And this is a full service campus for upperclassmen, but that's more for our business and communication students. And we are actually here to talk more about our health science programs. And that is something that Loyola Chicago does very well. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. Okay, cool. So our first program that I wanted to talk to you about is our Niehoff School of Nursing. It is the first nursing program in Illinois, which is kind of cool. It used to be an all women's program, and now it's a co-ed program, obviously. And this is probably our most competitive program. So the BSN program is a direct admit only, meaning that you will apply and be admitted only as an incoming freshman. So we don't accept any transfer students into nursing. So if you think you might want to be a nursing student, you want to apply as a BSN student, you can always transfer out of the program. You just can't transfer into it. It's really nice because you know coming in as a freshman that you're already in the program. You don't have to take those prerequisites and like keep your fingers crossed that you might get into the program. You're in the program as a freshman. As part of the nursing program, you get to have access to our state-of-the-art sim lab. Like a lot of my colleagues here, they had a similar sim lab. You can see some pictures here. And basically, we've converted the top floor of one of our buildings into a hospital setting. And so these simulators, they breathe and blink and bleed and hemorrhage and have babies, and some of them are babies. And, you know, they get adverse reactions to medication. So our students really get that emergency response training before they even step on their first clinical rotation. So you will have 7 different clinical rotations in the city of Chicago starting your sophomore year. So again, pretty early, making sure you're getting that hands-on experience early on. And we also do something that's kind of cool where we hire actors to come in and they play different roles. So maybe you are dealing with somebody that is under the influence, or maybe you're dealing with somebody who is disoriented and doesn't know where they are. So you get a lot of that hands-on experience that goes above and beyond just traditional training. And that's probably why our nurses have a really great reputation. Our nurses typically have jobs lined up before they even graduate. So we have a 98% pass rate on the NCLEX. And then like 99% of our students are employed or in grad school within 3 months of graduating. So you can also see a list here of some of our master's, NP, clinical nurse specialists, PhD programs. If you want to learn a little bit more about those, I would check out our website. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is another one, which this is our Parkinson School of Health Sciences and Public Health. It offers 3 undergraduate programs, 9 graduate degrees, and 5 5-year dual degree programs. So it's kind of a mouthful, but what that means in all of those areas that you see there on the right, those are areas where you can do your undergrad and your graduate degree and be done in 5 years. And if you take a look at some of those, they're pretty cool and pretty unique and pretty different. And if we've learned nothing over the last 18 months, it's the importance of public health and healthcare professionals of all different kinds. So whether that be a nurse or an administrator or, you know, a public health social worker or even a doctor. And that actually leads beautifully into my next slide. So go ahead and move to the next slide. Great. So Loyola offers many different pre-health professional programs and resources. So we do offer what's called an early assurance program that is into our medical school. So we do have our own medical school called the Stritch School of Medicine. And we also have a 2-3 programs for students that want to pursue a pharmacist degree. That includes 2 years with us and 3 years with a partnership school called Midwestern College of Pharmacy. And then lastly, we offer a wealth of pre-health. We offer a pre-health advisory committee with a bunch of different programs that you can use going under that. So, and what we do with this, it's much more than just an advisor saying, okay, here are the courses you need to take and good luck on your MCATs. This is going to be a group of current doctors, medical school professors, undergrad professors that are working together to really prepare our students for the next step, you know, getting accepted into medical school. So they'll do resume building, interview preparation, job shadowing. They write letters of recommendation. So they really do help students. And 79% of the students that go through that advisory process are accepted into their top 3 choices of med school. So not bad. Next slide, please. Okay, great. So I'm going to just talk briefly. I only have about 5 more seconds. So about our application. So our application is available on the Common App Coalition application, and it is free to apply. It's also your application for scholarships. So it's kind of like this one-stop shop. Like apply, see if you get in, see what kind of scholarships you get, and then maybe you come out to Chicago and catch a ball game and take a tour of our campus. We are rolling admissions. So that means that we roll upon complete, or we read upon completion, and we do a very holistic review process. We are test optional for fall 2022 and 2023. Nursing students, we do like to see scores if you have them, but again, it's not necessary. If you don't have them, that's okay. And then just make sure your application is in and complete by December 1st, because that's our priority deadline. That gets you considered for scholarship. And you'll want to, because 98% of our students do get scholarship, with the average package being close to $30,000 a year, which does make us pretty comparable to an in-state school. So make sure you get that application in there. Thank you so much for your time. I will also put my contact information in the chat. I am the one who reads all the applications from your area. So if you decide to apply or have any questions, I will be your person. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Tara, thank you so much for wrapping us up this evening, and thank you to our participants for taking all of this information in. Obviously, you're here because you're interested in nursing or possibly working in healthcare one day. So this is your opportunity now to ask questions of our expert presenters. You have them with you for a few minutes, so let's take advantage of this time. So we do have a question in the Q&A, and I actually recognize this person, so nice to see you. Somebody's actually typing an answer, and while they type, I'm also going to ask it in case anybody wants to answer live. Do any of these colleges also offer healthcare opportunities for high schoolers? So any kind of healthcare opportunities, maybe a summer program, right? Some kind of camp or experience for high school students to gain exposure to your healthcare programs.
I'm jumping in here first. So we do a summer scholars program, and that would be for students that are in between their junior and senior year, and they can come on campus and they can take the summer scholars. There's about 9 different ones to choose from. And so if you wanted to do like biology, there's one for biology. There's also one like for forensics, and a couple of different really cool majors. So you can take some college level classes, stay in the dorms, kind of see what that college life is like. And then, you know, it doesn't mean you have to go to Loyola Chicago after. You can usually transfer those credits to pretty much any college. It's just kind of like college training wheels, and something fun to do over the summertime.
That's awesome. Anybody else want to contribute to that conversation about any programs you might have on your campus or through your institution that has to do with healthcare that high school students can take advantage of while they're in high school?
Yeah, University of Missouri actually has something that's pretty much the exact same. And I definitely want to refocus and emphasize what Tara just mentioned. Wonderful opportunity to be on campus, get a feel like what it's like to be, you know, in a college environment. Great opportunity, even if you're thinking not interested in med, just a wonderful experience, you know, to get some college credit, get some exposure. And whether it's our school or any school really throughout the United States or around the world, it's a good opportunity for you to do that. So we just call it our mini med program. Pretty easy to remember. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Tommy. Anybody else? I think it's a great question to ask, right? Because for those of you who are 9th, 10th, 11th graders right now, or even in middle school, if you're logging in, it's really important that you're gaining exposure to the fields of medicine or nursing or whatever it may be, if it's something that you're interested in pursuing in college, right? And to be able to explore by doing summer programs like that not only helps you to really cement that decision for yourself, but also to enhance just your overall student resume, right? To say that you were able to participate in this program at a university or a college that helped you explore that field can really help you as well when it comes to college. So that's great. Great question. We have a couple more minutes. So if anybody has any other questions, please don't be shy. Go ahead and ask them in the Q&A, and we would be happy to answer your questions for you. And if you don't have any questions, that's perfectly okay too. Hopefully you got some good information to kind of think about and reflect on. And if you do have any questions down the line, you do have the contact information for all of our amazing reps tonight. So please, reach out to them if you have questions. Don't be shy. I want to thank our amazing reps for joining us. I know it's an incredibly busy time for all of you, but we really appreciate your presence and your dedication to the students of Capistrano Unified. We really appreciate you. And if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this session so we can all get on with our evenings and everybody can kind of enjoy their night. So thank you again to everybody. Have a wonderful evening, and we hope to see you at some future college fair events that are happening for the remainder of the week. Thank you, everybody.